In order to make his escape, I believe he took advantage of a migration of wild birds.
I often start rereading The Little Prince. I look for sentences, etc., in the book. Now, when Antoine de Saint Exupéry wrote it in the United States, he was certainly trying to write a book, at the same time, a bit for children and a lot for adults. And now, when I read The Little Prince as an adult, I understand it perfectly. The Saint-Exupéry Foundation launched a groundbreaking solidarity project on the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the first edition of the book The Little Prince, with a selection of 23 of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's illustrations in relief. This innovative tactile edition is intended to make accessible for visually impaired children and adults, for the first time, all of the magic and dreams of this world-renowned tale on an equal basis for everyone. The Association Arrimage, édition Claude Garandès from Nice, was responsible for producing this singular art book. The publication of this art book represents a world first because Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's original watercolours and drawings, which illustrate this literary work, the most read and translated in the world, have never been transcribed in relief to enable their tactile apprehension. Since the launch of the boxed set, the Arrimage Association has been organising educational workshops on the theme of The Little Prince for visually impaired and blind children and adults. Thanks to the support of the Antoine de Saint-Exupéry Foundation for Youth, the Fondation d'Entreprise France Télévisions, of Gallimard and private sponsors. These workshops, which are carried out throughout the world, enable the promotion of the teaching of drawing and access to culture while respecting an inclusive and equitable pedagogy to a group of people who have suffered in their lives. I think that there is no explanation for the success of The Little Prince. It's a natural phenomenon which has stood the test of time. For 75 years, it's continued to be successful and it continues to spread across the entire world. Antoine de Saint-Exupéry wanted everyone to have a similar language so that we could understand each other. He didn't have time for that when he was alive, but The Little Prince is a book everyone can read. And I've travelled a bit in the world, and when I talk about The Little Prince, everyone understands and smiles. I think that primarily it's a book of peace. It's a sad book. It's my opinion, and many people share it. But this conversational link between Antoine de Saint-Exupéry and a little blonde gentleman with his hair like ears of corn is a bit surprising at the beginning. His friends told him, "But you have to write a book for children." And he said, "Me? A book for children? I don't know how." Then he wrote A Little Prince, which is aimed at everyone. We can't read The Little Prince to little children. We can tell them about the sheep, the rose, the little prince, the fox. But it's only later that we can really understand all its meaning. That is, a message of peace, universal peace, even if it was written just before war by a military man. It was not a book of war, on the contrary, it seeks above all to unite men towards more peace and more calmness, and it manages it, as I said before. The Little Prince is a universal language which everyone understands. The reflections of this little prince are already the reflections of a child who has a huge potential. He poses questions which a little child rarely poses at that age. For example, the existential question, where did he come from? Where is he going? Which means that throughout the narrative, we're interested in the rose, the fox, the little prince, and what they say, but this is not the language of 8-year-old children. This little prince is a timeless character. Today, many young people find in The Little Prince a reason, maybe not a reason to live, that would be a bit too much, but a reason to remain optimistic. It gives them ideas, it gives them the strength, courage, and the hope. But above all, it urges them to live their own life by following the fundamental and universal principles which we find in the work of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. There, they find an unfailing source of reflection. We can see only with the heart, reflection, if you wish. The essential is invisible to the eyes. And it's a bit true. The eyes see only the outside, but you cannot see what thought allows. But the heart, on the other hand, that is the inside, intelligence, sees much further. The eye stops there, at this wall. Intelligence can imagine what there is beyond, but not the eye. A bit like through the box which contains the perfect sheep. So it's a reality. We can see only with the heart. The essential is invisible. Yes, for me, it's true.
L'essentiel est invisible. Oui. Pour moi, oui, c'est vrai.